So we're starting to get a little change in weather here. I am really excited about that. I'm more than ready for spring and tired of being cooped up and really want to get outside. Been a pretty mild winter up until somewhere the end of January, and the temperatures really started to change on us. We started getting dumped on snow. However, this last week we've been getting some warmer weather and even been getting some rain, so it's really helped melt a lot of this snow. We've been getting up into the 30s, and I think they're saying by next weekend we could potentially get up into the 50s, so I am so excited about this. Been having some problems with the truck here recently. Actually a handful of problems this winter. I ended up having some problems with brakes. I ended up having to do pads, rotors, and actually I had stuck calipers. And replaced that in January. I was lucky that the weather was pretty nice at that time because just dealing with those tools. Not too much longer after, a couple weeks later, and I ended up having a power steering line go out and a vacuum line for our 4x4, so the truck got locked into 4x4. I'm not joking, within 4 days of this thing getting fixed, I now have another issue. I think I have an ignition coil issue or a spark plug issue, and I'm having a little hard time tracking this down. Thought I'd take you guys along, and maybe this can help someone else out trying to troubleshoot a problem like this. So when I was driving the truck, I noticed it would start shuddering more as I accelerated, and as I took my foot off the gas, it would start to subside. So it kind of gave me an idea. I could rule out that it wasn't like a tire balance type thing, because the thing would still be shuddering even if I took my foot off the gas. And then if we start this thing, you'll see that the check engine light is on as well. So I've been trying to avoid having to go down to the auto parts store, or more particularly drive the truck down to the auto parts store, because it's not exactly a short hike. So I tried doing a little bit of troubleshooting. I pulled out our digital thermometer and let the truck run just for a few minutes, and then tried to take a reading on the manifold off of each port and see if I can notice one cooler than the other. So what I'm trying to do is find some consistent place I can take some temperature readings on the manifold. However, it doesn't look very accessible or very easily viewable from up here, so maybe we'll take a look under the truck here real quick and see if we can get a better view. So you can see the exhaust here. I'm just going to follow it up and find the manifold. It's a little hard to get a consistent placement with this, with just different stuff in the way, but I'm kind of wondering if it's the very front one here on this side, which would be really nice. We're going to check the other side really quick and see if we notice any big differences over there. Oh, it's tough. The front one there too. So I don't know, that front one up there as well. So maybe I just can't get a good shot at it. But some people will use a little bit of like a spray bottle of water or something and try spraying down there and seeing which ones steam, which one don't. So then I tried going back and just disconnecting each ignition coil to see if I noticed a difference in the idle of the engine. That one's working. Don't notice the difference there on that one. Wonder if that's the culprit. I thought I had this narrowed down, so I ended up going to replace that, and in the process of removing the old one, it ended up getting damaged. Look at this. The whole spring is all stuck onto the spark plug. So these should, according to the manual, have some of this dielectric grease on here, but you notice how that thing was stuck on there. We are going to add a little extra. Put in the new one and it didn't resolve the problem. So either it's a spark plug thing or that wasn't the right one. So I think I'm just going to bite the bullet. I'm going to drive down to O'Reilly's. It's just the auto parts store, closest one that I know that's got one of those free rentals. I'll hook up their diagnostic computer system. I'll be able to figure out exactly which piston's not firing, and then we're going to tackle one of those two things. We'll start with the cheapest thing, spark plug, and then go for the ignition coil. So I'm going to try to do this all in the parking lot once I can get it diagnosed. I'm trying to think ahead here what I need to bring. I'm going to bring a couple of screwdrivers just to be safe. I don't think I'll need those. Spark plug gap tester, because I'm not sure if it's a spark plug thing or ignition coil. A couple wrenches just in case those ignition coils get stuck. I can have a little extra grab. And then extension bar. I have some electric tape. I'll show you why I'll use that here in a second. This particular toolkit here, and a lot of like the mechanic ones, still have a spark plug socket, and there's generally a little piece of rubber in here so you can get that down in there. It'll stick in there and you can easily pull that spark plug out. However, I think there's two different standard sizes, and just many times this is not the correct size. having a little electric tape, you can sort of wrap it around the outside of the socket, kind of fold it on the inside, and there's a little bit of give there, and you can make something work. So if I have to, I can maybe make one of those work, or worst case scenario, maybe I'll end up having to buy a socket there, but I'm really trying to avoid doing that. So you can see the neighbor's greenhouse took way too much snow this winter and is no more. I've been taking the back roads here so I'm not getting pushed by traffic, just trying to take it real nice and easy, real slow acceleration, just be real nice and easy here on the truck. We're not too far away, I'm guessing a couple miles here, and hopefully we can make it there. We just gotta plug this into the port under here. And then we'll put the key, just flip it on so the dash comes on. Ignition coil, secondary circuit. So I brought that machine back in with the code up, and he didn't know or couldn't tell me which piston that was firing on. And just doing a little Google searching for the year of my truck, the make and model, the engine size, and then with that air code. And looking on this form here, it looks like that last number is in reference to the piston. So generally on the passenger side, it starts with 1, 2, 3, 4, then goes to the driver's side, 5, 6, which is the one I just replaced. So I got a spark plug here. I got some dielectric grease. So when I reseat that coil pack on top of there, it's not gonna hopefully stick future down the road. And then I also got a little small packet of anti-seize as well. And generally you wanna put that, so especially in these Fords, so it doesn't get stuck in there. Just a nightmare to get those out. So I'm really hoping whoever put the plugs in that are in there right now use that, because it can be really a pain in the butt. So we'll try swapping this out here in the parking lot and see if this ends up resolving our issues. Fingers crossed. Well, look at this. The spark plug thing here, I shove it in here. It doesn't seem to be grabbing this one, so there must be some weird size here. These spark plugs are, well, a little different size than I expected. They're 9/16. Here's the motorcraft part here, and you can see the 9/16 is the right size. So not your standard spark plug like usual. So I have to admit, I'm a little frustrated just trying to keep my head up here. Something as simple as changing a spark plug is becoming a little bit of a difficult task. I can't break this thing loose, and I'm terrified I'm gonna break it off inside of there. Pretty common thing actually in Ford, especially the year range that this truck falls in, to even have an extraction kit or something like this, but really do not want to go down that road. Looking on my phone, I found a tech note on this, and they recommend warming the truck up for a while before trying to break that thing loose and using some sort of penetrating oil. So that's what I end up doing, is going and getting a little PB blaster here, spraying that down there, and I'm just letting it sit for the next 15 minutes before I go out there and start wrenching on this thing. My fingers are crossed. I just need to get this plug out, and I'm hoping this is going to resolve our issues. I don't know what to do here. I'm really frustrated. I feel very defeated, and I don't know what I can do to move forward on this. Maybe someone's got a suggestion, something I can learn from in the future on this. I can't get this out, and removing spark plug is something I've done a million times, but I just can't do it. I'm convinced it's a 9/16. It's like, that seemed to fit everything just right, but it just doesn't want to grab very well, and I'm scared that I'm gonna end up rounding out the nut. So I actually even went in and bought like a specific 9/16 spark plug that's got the little rubber boot in there to help you get the thing out, and just an additional little thing you can grab onto. And that one seems to grab just a little bit better, but I'm still not really able to crank on this thing and get it. It just wants to slip on me, and I'm terrified of stripping the thread or grounding the nut on this and then making it more difficult. If I had like an impact gun or something just to make that first initial break loose type thing, or maybe just this PB blaster sitting on this thing for a while will. So what I think I'm going to do, there's a Ford dealership not that far down the road from here. Unfortunately, it's a gated dealership, so I can't take it right there like an after hours drop. So I think I'm going to park at a grocery store that's pretty close to that, and then come back tomorrow morning, Monday morning, when they open back up, and take it in there and make them kind of eat their own dog food. I don't know what to do here. This is not how I wanted the video to end. You know, I'm generally pretty successful on something as simple as removing a spark plug, but it's just not going my way, and I don't know how to progress and what to learn from this. The moral of the story is not to go take it to a dealership because changing a spark plug's hard. That should not be the moral of the story of this video. So I'm trying to figure out what that is here, what I can learn. Maybe you guys can help me in the comments, you know, like, hey, this is how I have done it, or when I've come across this. I don't know. So I'm gonna call up the wife here. She's gonna meet me over at the grocery store here, and I'm just trying to avoid the vehicle not getting towed between now and tomorrow morning when the place opens up, and go from there. Hey, think you could maybe meet me over at the grocery store?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what else to do here.
Alright.
We'll have to deal with it Monday, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll leave.
Alright.
Alright.
I'll see you in a little bit.
Okay.
Love ya.
Bye.
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 So before I take off, I'm gonna run back in, talk to the guys at O'Reilly, see if they have any suggestions. Otherwise, I'm gonna leave that ignition coil out because there's no point in putting it back in. It's not like that piston's firing anyways, and just drive over there. To be honest, when I stir up the truck, it seems the exact same. So my troubleshooting was right when I was doing a little testing and doing the connect and disconnect. But it's gotta be something, either the wiring harness or the spark plug itself. And my guess, the way this thing's wanting to come out, they're probably the original plugs. And to be honest with you, I probably should replace all the plugs at once, and maybe that's what I'll have the Ford dealership do. But I was just trying to squeak by until the funds kind of built back up a little bit again, because I've just been getting nailed so bad with this truck. But I don't know. We'll figure this stuff out. So